everybody, welcome to Crafting by the Bay. My name is JC and today I'm going to share with you my favorite DIY products, so I hope you'll join me. I am going to set up my keyword and then share this into my free VIP group. That's where I have specials, deals, giveaways, insider information. I post retired transfers in there sometimes. So if you want to be a part of that group, as long as you're not a designer, just type VIP into the comments and I will private message you right here on Facebook the link to that group. Today's keyword is cross. We're actually going to do 2 projects today. So when you hop on, say hello, do me a favor, hit that heart button, sprinkle if you can. I would greatly appreciate it. Let's see if I can find us here. All right, there we are. Get this shared. Oh my goodness, there's already some people here. Let's see who is here. Let me get this shared. Let's see. Hi Linda, hi Lori, hi Brenda. How are you ladies doing? Didn't it turn out so cute? I love it. The real test is going to be washing it, and I will definitely keep you all posted on how that goes. So this is this spray that I used. I got it in a 2-pack off Amazon. Did I link? Let me see if I linked my Amazon store. Yeah, my Amazon store is linked with today's keyword. Today's keyword is cross. And this is under the crafting section. It comes in a 2-pack. If you guys buy anything from my Amazon store, I do earn commission. It is pennies, but it helps. Anything adds up, right? The one thing I would say about the review of this, it says that the nozzle clogs up super easily. So what I did after I sprayed it, I took it to my sink and I took this part apart and I just rinsed it through and then sprayed it to get all of the stuff out of here so it won't clog up. So if you get it, I just suggest doing that because that will prevent it from clogging. So when you do spray that, I made sure I sprayed it generously all over the shirt, and then you do have to make sure it is completely dried before you apply your heat transfer, and I dried it with a hairdryer and it worked perfectly. So as soon as I wash it, I will let you guys know how well it holds up. So we'll see. Yep, I used the spray and we'll just see how well it holds up. You guys know I've talked about I do not like the sublimation, like the shirts, the polyester shirts or the sweatshirts. I just don't like the fit and they're just really weird material. So we'll see how it holds up. I'll let you guys know. Hi Tina. But if you do type the word cross, you can go to my Amazon store. You can grab this and try it. If you want to wait to see how it turns out when I wash it, I will let you guys know. Hi Anita, how are you? All right, you guys, so we're gonna do 2 projects today. Oh, and I wanted to let you guys see this. This is the, I think there was like 4 or 5 of you that ordered yesterday's project. This is the little stand that is gonna come with it. That is gonna hold it. So just so you guys know, okay? So it will come with a stand. And I wanted to just bring that in and show you guys so you know what it's gonna look like. So there is that. All right, so we're gonna do a project with the new surface and the cross and this sign. I'm happy you caught me live as well. And then, you guys, I tried my hardest to take this, to take our club bunny and make a file out of it, and I just couldn't do it because it wasn't working very well. So I took a pair of bunnies that we already had, and they're very similar to the Club Bunnies, very similar, the floppy ear, non-floppy ear, and made chunky bunnies. So they're very similar to the Club Bunnies. They're just slightly different, not as wide, and they're chunky bunnies that are gonna stand up, okay? Hi, Nancy. I was gonna use the Club Transfer with these chunky bunnies, and then I decided I haven't used this pattern, and this is a beautiful pattern, dainty floral patterns. And so we're actually gonna use this pattern on these chunky bunnies. And then you guys, remember I made the banner with the monthly club, and I used one bunny. And then I still had one stuffy bunny, and I only can find one piece of my stuffy bunny. So I don't even have a whole bunny to do the other project. So I'm gonna have to like cut out, some bunnies to do the stuffy bunny, but I realized today that because I had to wait for my club, that I haven't actually done the club project at all this month. But if you guys want to get your hands on the club with the Club Transfer, go grab it. It's been a popular club. You can make stuffy bunnies. Obviously, you can use the transfer on so many other things. Go grab it. I linked the club. But I wanted to use these florals with these chubby bunnies. And so I decided to use this dainty floral pattern. So these we just added to our Etsy shop. We're going to make them today. So they're also linked with today's keyword. Mary and Nancy. Okay, so the shirts, all right, I'm going to start painting these bunnies. We're going to do two projects, but I'm going to start painting these bunnies, and I'm only going to paint the top layer of each bunny. And I'm going to tell you guys, I got my sweatshirts. I always buy my sweatshirts at Hobby Lobby. So I got my sweatshirt at Hobby Lobby, and I think it was they're like $10 or $11. They have a great selection of t-shirts. You can get a t-shirt there as well for like $3. So my t-shirts and sweatshirts, I always get there. And then the sublimation spray I got off Amazon, and I actually linked it for you guys in my Amazon store. So if you type the word cross, you're going to get the link for my Amazon store with that sublimation spray. So just type the word cross. But if you like the polyester shirts, you don't need that spray because the heat transfers are made for the polyester. You need at least a 70% polyester shirt or sweatshirt. So as long as you have that, you don't need the spray, but I do not like the material. I bought a sweatshirt off Amazon, and maybe if I wasn't, I don't know, you guys, they're just very straight fitting, and I'm not a very straight person. I have a lot of curves and some chunk, and so I just don't like the way they fit. They're very form-fitting, they're very straight. And this is just a Gildan sweatshirt from Hobby Lobby. And that is like the cheapest place, even cheaper than Amazon that I have found to get sweatshirts. But I mean, you could go to Walmart and grab a shirt. And you could get any kind of shirt or sweatshirt and use that spray. Like I said, I used a lot because I read the reviews, and some people were like, I don't know if it was user error, maybe I didn't use enough, but it didn't transfer at all. And one person said, so I tried it again and used more spray, and then it worked just fine. So I made sure I used a lot of spray, and I really sprayed it really good, and then I dried it with my hair dryer because it has to be completely dry. And once it was completely dry, I just used the heat transfer like normal. Yeah, Linda, they're just really weird. And I tried a few different shirts. I tried the ones in Hobby Lobby. I tried the ones in Michael's. The shirts are even weirder than the sweatshirts. But if you like the sublimation shirts and sweatshirts, you do not need this spray, okay? You do not need this spray. And if you are using a sublimation, any other kind of sublimation surface, like a towel, like if you're doing a towel or a bag and you buy a sublimation surface, you do not need this spray. All right, so my paintbrushes were a little wet, so I have to go over this a little bit more. But if you guys would hit that heart button, say hello when you hop on. If you're on the replay later, just hashtag replay. Let me know how you're doing, how your day is going. And like I said, I realized that I haven't actually done the actual club project like it was meant to be done. Just because as designers, we didn't even get them like we were supposed to on time and all that. So, and now I can't find the fabric to make the other bunny. So I'm gonna have to cut some if I can, but anyway. Linda, I can't see all of your comment. Let me see if I can try to see if I can see it somehow to see after you washed it. I can't see what it says after you washed it. All right, let me see if I can. And it still looks good after one wash. That is good to know. I never dry my clothes. I dry the rest of my family's and they dry their own, but I never dry mine. So maybe that, I don't know if that would make a difference. And I also, I use the laundry, like the pods. I just get the Sam pods. And with the pods, you're supposed to use cold water. And so I just started this a few months ago using the pods because we were going through so much laundry detergent. And so Chris was like, let's try the pods and see if that helps. And I didn't know with the pods that you're supposed to use cold water. And so we started using the pods, using cold water. And so maybe with that as well, it won't wash, like using the cold water, it will help. I don't know. So I will keep you guys posted. I'll probably wash it. I just did laundry like yesterday, so I probably won't do it for a couple days. Because I only do mine and Chris's laundry and we don't go through a lot, so but I'll keep you guys posted for sure. I will do like a before picture and then an after so you guys can see what it looks like. And then I'll still like do like one wash, two wash. I'll let you guys know. See how it holds up after time. And I already have next month's club. Next month's club is pretty cute as well. And I know I think I said yesterday, a lot of the specials that are going to be coming out this year are centered around Perks members. So like free shipping, sales, discounts, stuff like that. So if you're not a Perks member, think about it because most of the promotions this year in 2026 will be for Perks members. So you might just want to think about that. If you're not a Perks member, they save 30% all the time on their orders. They get free gifts, they get free shipping, different stuff like that. All right, that is all done. So with these chunky bunnies, I'm just gonna do one layer because you're not gonna see the other ones. So I'm not gonna paint, there's 4 layers and I'm not gonna paint all 4 layers because you're not gonna see them. But you can if you want to. And they were added, I'm gonna refresh just so I can make sure I see my comments. But if you get these from our Amazon store, if you want to paint all the layers, you absolutely can. All right, let's get these dry. Actually, let's do our other project while these are drying. I know, I wish the design dollars did. The design dollars, you only have 30 days to use. Yeah, only 30 days. All right, let's use this new surface. So this is our new 9x9 surface. And this, you can paint this if you wanted. It comes with hardware to hang up. I'm just gonna leave it just like it is. It would look nice to, if you stained the edges. I'm going for like a rustic kind of look, so I'm actually just gonna leave it the way it is. But I am gonna wax it because I wanna make sure all the little grooves are filled in so it doesn't bleed. I can't believe that this month is almost over. It actually seems like this month was a very long month. Maybe because we did have like the snowstorm and then the ice storm, and a lot of stuff happened this month. But it seems like this month was like 2 months. It was very long. Does anyone else think that February, even though it was a short month, it just seems like it's gone on forever? All right, this is a one-time use surface. And so you just want to buff this on and then buff it off. No, you don't want any standing wax. And so I just sort of feel around, make sure there's no wax. And then we are going to use the cross first. And I don't think I'm going to wax it or fuzz it because I've used this a few times. So this cross is a little bit obviously longer than the frame. Hi, Denise. The frame is 9x9. This is 8.5x11. So the bottom of the cross is going to get cut off a little bit, but that is okay. This is going to be in the background. So actually, I'm going to put that up a little bit higher. All right, I'm going to put that all the way to the top. So this is going to be in the background, and so I'm going to do this a light color. I'm going to do this in Dune. You're not sure what season it is, I know. And it is still freezing here. And we had, since Chris has been super busy with eBay, I decided to start helping with Etsy. And so I have been doing that, and the laser doesn't want to cut again because it's been super cold. And I just was like having to cut everything like twice today, and it was very frustrating. I'm like, turn off the laser, I'm going inside. If it's like too cold, the laser doesn't want to cut, and it's just, oh my gosh, it's so frustrating. All right, so we're just keeping this very neutral. We're gonna do Dune and Espresso. Yep, Linda, that's like here, minus the snow, but all right, so we're gonna do Dune. So we're gonna keep the cross very light. So we're gonna do Dune. My dune is a little thick, but it should be okay. So dune, so we're gonna layer. And because these transfers are paper thin, you can see that I can like I can put it up the side and it fits no problem. All right, now my comments are not showing. Thank you, Linda, for the stars. We got snow at the end of the week, and then now you're in the 60s. Yeah, it's so crazy, this weather. So crazy. All right, so let's get all the extra off. I want to make sure I get all of it off as much as I can because we are layering. I want to make sure it is nice and smooth. Now I'm just going to gently peel it off. So there is our cross. You had a very mild winter in Idaho. So do you like the snow? Do you like that then? Or do you wish you had more snow? If you're new, these are reusable. So you just wash them in your sink with a board eraser, and then you can just let it air dry and use it over and over. Since we are gonna layer, I need this to be completely dry. So we're gonna dry it. Did my hairdryer like go out all of a sudden? Didn't I just use my hairdryer? Or did I not use it yet? Oh my goodness. There we go. I think I'm gonna have to get a new power strip. Nothing wants to stay plugged into the power strip. It has been a weird winter. When you're layering, obviously you want to make sure it's completely dry. Sometimes when you're layering, because this is a little bit, you know, raised, it can bleed a little bit. So we are going to put some wax over it just to make sure that it doesn't. We're going to make sure these bunnies are all dry. Oh, that is true. I'm sure that is very helpful. Okay, so let's sand these a little bit. I'm gonna do this over the garbage just so doesn't get all over my desk. Just want to make sure it's nice and smooth. Has anyone done any crafting? If so, what have you made? And let me know, do you do any other crafting besides chalk? What do you guys do? I'm always interested to know what other kind of stuff you guys do. The edges just a little bit to distress it. sandpaper's a little dull. You haven't been able to craft in weeks. Oh no, I'm sorry. I've never done this, you guys, but I'm gonna use a very, 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 very fine, I have one that is like super, super fine. Let's see if I can find it. I might have used them all. I wanted to see if I could just sand that really lightly. But you're nowhere near done. Hey, well, you know what? I don't think I have one that's super fine. I'm trying to see. This one feels... I want to see if I can just sand this just a little bit. Crochet and wreaths, but love chalk best. So I've always loved to do crafts and DIY. So I used to make wreaths. I used to do handmade signs. And then I found this. All right, I'm gonna try to sand this a little bit. I'm gonna see what happens to make sure it is nice and smooth. I've never done this. You're getting ready to do Easter decor, yay! Because sometimes when you layer, it can bleed a little bit. So I'm just gonna see if I go over it very lightly with a very fine to make it nice and smooth, what happens. I'm a little nervous. So let's see what happens. Because I just want it to be nice and smooth and not, because you know how you can feel it because it's, you know, bumpy a little bit. So I'm just gonna see if we can smooth it out a little bit. Now, if this was a dark color, because I can see it's going over there a little bit, it could like, the dust could get all over. So just keep that in mind. Okay, so it worked, but like I said, you can see the dust over here. And so like if this was a darker color, you would probably, it sort of looks like the cross has a shadow. You've been putting out your Easter decor today. You needle felt as well as chalk. Well, that is very cool. All right, let's put a little bit of wax over this just to sort of seal that in. And then we're gonna put the other transfer over top of it. I did get all my Easter stuff done the other day and cleaned. Nothing like Christmas. I have three totes of Easter stuff compared to like 20, 30 of Christmas. All right, this is just sort of sealing that in so the sticky transfer doesn't pull that up. We're on St. Patrick's Day. I probably really should do St. Patrick's Day. Well, if you're into St. Patrick's Day, we do have St. Patrick's Day stuff in our Etsy store. Not a lot, but we do have some pretty cool stuff in there. All right, so this one is called Forgiven. So 1 cross 3 nails equals forgiven. So we're gonna put this over top. I know, Linda, I was gonna text you tomorrow. I've been praying for that. So hopefully everything, I know it wasn't the answers you were looking for, but hopefully the appointment goes fairly well. All right, so we're gonna put this right over top of this. And this one is gonna fit right in here perfect because it is the same size. It is a 9x9. And we're gonna make sure it is down really good. I always double and triple check because I don't want any bleeds. If this was a chalkboard and you got bleeds, it wouldn't matter because you could erase it, wipe it off, and do it all over. This is permanent surface. I can't, unless I wanted to sand it off and start all over. So I always double, triple check. All right, I'm gonna use espresso over top to chalk the rest. And I'm just doing light pressure since there is a design underneath. And like I said, because there is a design underneath and I'm layering, it's raised a little bit under there. I don't want it to bleed, so I'm trying to make sure I don't push any up under. So light pressure if you're layering. You guys know this cross transfer is one of my favorites. And let's see if I can, there we go. I'm doing this one backwards, but almost because I was easiest to get that corner. I love it. 1 cross, 3 nails, 4 given. This would make a beautiful gift. Look at that. Let me know what you guys think of that. This is one of our new surfaces as well. It is beautiful. I love it. You could paint it, stain it. I just wanted to leave it. It does come with these little things you could put on the back. I'm not even going to deal with those, but there you go. I love that. Any kind of color combo would be so pretty on that. Let's just put it back there for now. I don't want it to fall. Howdy. Hi, Molly. How are you? Welcome. Hope you're having a wonderful day. All right, let's move on. We're gonna take our chubby bunnies that only have, they're not chubby yet. Where did the cross come from? That's one of ours. That's Chalk's cross. That is our rustic cross. So today's keyword is cross. So if you put cross in the comments, well, actually, it might have not already sent you it because you did say cross. Cross is the keyword, and it's in the, it's on my website. And that is the cross that I used as well to make the sweatshirt with the transfer. Can I get an amen? I love that cross. I made this wreath as well with the cross. All right, so we're gonna make the chubby bunnies now. So we have these, we painted these. Like I said, I was going to do the, I was gonna use the club transfer, but then I decided, because I'm gonna use some of these florals with the bunnies, this transfer was perfect to match. And so we're going to use these dainty floral pattern. It is beautiful. And you guys know I love a good pattern. And Christmas and spring, they always come out with so many gorgeous patterns. And patterns are my favorite. I love them. So I want to make sure, I'm not going to wax these because I'm okay if these come out rustic looking. You definitely want to wax if you don't want the sticky transfer to pull up any paint or anything like that. A lot of times, especially because I use the chalk paint, I really don't have that problem. If I use acrylic paint, my sticky transfer pretty much 95% of the time pulls up paint when I use acrylic paint. And that's why I don't like acrylic paint. I love chalk paint. with our transfers. Also, if it's not completely dry, it will pull it up. That's the only time I've ever had a problem as well. But chalk paint is my go-to. Oh, font. Yes, fonts are my other go-to. Love a good font as well. Let's see. I don't know if I don't think we're going to be able to get both these on here together like I wanted to. Let's see. Maybe. Ooh, maybe. Yeah, we will. All right. Just want to make sure it's not like super crooked. Okay, that one is good. You guys, you saw me fuzz that. It is still pretty, it's fuzzed pretty well. Or it's pretty sticky, and I thought I fuzzed it pretty well. Okay, any guesses on the colors? You were gonna say to stagger them, yeah. I almost was like, oh, maybe if I put one upside down, and I was like, no, JC, you can't do that. You can't put one upside down, then the pattern's gonna be upside down. Why is somebody mad at me? Why is someone sending mad faces? I'm sorry. Why are you mad? Okay, we're gonna use Nominee. Using Nominee and Peachy Keen. I love these two colors together. Let's make sure this is down really well. No, Kathy, I never have. And another problem I have with acrylic paint and our transfers, well, chalk paste, is I have a hard time with our chalk transferring onto acrylic paint. I remember one live I did one time. For the life of me, I used acrylic paint. It was one of the very first times I used acrylic paint on a surface, and the chalk would not transfer onto the acrylic paint. I don't know why. It just would not do it. And ever since then, I was like, nope, not using acrylic paint anymore with our transfers and chalk paint or chalk paste. And so I switched to the chalk paint, and I have never had that problem again. I just thought that was the weirdest thing. I don't know. Has anyone ever had that problem? I don't know if it was the color. I don't know if it was the brand. I don't know, but I chalked it and I pulled the transfer back, and the chalk, it was not there. And no matter what I did, it would not go onto the surface. But look at how cute. So there is one. There is the first one. And now let's do the next one in Nominee. I love Nominee, Peachy Keen, and Eucalyptus are one of my favorite color combos. Absolutely favorite color combos of all time. You want to make sure you get it all off. Always squeegee it off so it's nice and smooth and consistent, and also so you don't waste any. And it doesn't stick to acrylic. Yep. So it's not just me. I'm not making it up. It's crazy. Yeah, I even tried waxing. Like it. Yeah, I just did not have luck. So if you have never tried acrylic paint with our transfers, don't. I've just never had very good luck. That's why I use chalk paint. All right, I'm gonna stick this back on here. Let me stick this on here. This one is so pretty. Look at that one. Love it. I'm not thrilled with the placement of these, especially on that side, but it's okay. This one is like perfect where the placements are. There's just like too many long stems right there. We're gonna dry them. We're gonna stick them together. Gonna accessorize them. So these are almost 7 inches tall. They're like 6 3/4. So we're gonna take these, we're gonna glue all of these together. So I'm gonna just use super glue. Hopefully I don't glue myself together. So I'm just gonna use super glue since I'm on the live, because if I use anything else, I can't like hold it up to show you guys, and I want to have it all stuck together. So we're gonna layer these, stick it all together. So if you use like wood glue or anything else, you can use like clamps. So there's 4 layers. And also our the bunnies for our club did not have a flat bottom, so this one has a flat bottom, so it will stand a lot better than our club bunnies as well. Hi Gwen, how are you? Oh, did you guys see that? My finger was totally stuck to the back of that. I'm trying to make sure I don't put a lot of glue towards the edges, so it won't seep out on my fingers. All right, gonna put the top layer on. If you guys probably already know this, but if you get your hands super glued together, 100% acetone will get it apart. Ask me how I know. All right, so there is our first one. How cute is that? I don't want it, some of the glue is coming out, so I don't want to, I might have to make one more layer. I don't know. We're gonna accessorize these as well. I think I'm gonna have to get another glue. come on. I did pick up some other glue from the Dollar Tree the other day, but if I use that, I definitely wouldn't be able to stand these up for you guys because they definitely wouldn't be set. That is the only thing about doing lives with things you have to glue. He's so cute. All right. We are going to distress them. So here, make sure there's no glue coming out. So here is, this one is my favorite. So here is the one in Nominee. And this one, like I said, I don't like the placement of the florals on that one. So there is that one. Absolutely, Lori, that is a good idea. There is the Peachy Keen one. So let's distress them, and then we're gonna add, we're gonna distress them, and then we're gonna add some florals and some ribbon. So I'm just gonna go lightly around the edges. But yeah, these would be cute. Dough bowl, tiered tray, a little shelf. The Nominee one is definitely my favorite. And you can, I always seem to paint everything white or plaster or I think it's plaster or Snow White, but you could do gray. I mean, you could do the background, any color. I'm just gonna run this sort of through what's left. All right, let's see here. I have these florals. I just want something really tiny. And then I just have some clear ribbon. I don't know, should I use the clear ribbon or should I use twine? You guys let me know, twine or the clear. I wish I had some lace, but I don't have any more. And I just want to use like, I don't know, let's see. I don't really have anything else besides these. Let me see. These are sort of big. Maybe this one I'll use this. My florals are a little big. Should I use one of each? You guys let me know. Should I use one of each or should I use both of these? What are you guys saying? I see ribbon and twine. I could use one of both. You know what? I have this ribbon right here. I don't even know where this one came from. Doesn't really go. This twine is so small. Let's see. You just like the leaves. This one. I wish I would have had, I haven't really bought any florals other than this. All right, this twine is a little bit thicker. Maybe I'll do one of each. I'll do one of the other. This is still not very thick. And maybe, let's see here. We're gonna put this one up here. Maybe just one of them will give the greenery. So there is that one. Let's see if we can do these both together. A little smaller. All right, I layered this one to try to see if I can hide some of the greenery behind, but I don't know if I'm even, I don't even know actually if I'm gonna put the greenery on there. Because it's sort of gonna be hard to sort of hide it. So I think I'm actually just gonna leave the greenery off. So cute. So there is that one. I just feel like the greenery and the leaves are a little too big. So here is this one, just super simple and sweet. So here are our two. My desk is like got ridges in it. This one does not want to stand. I might have to add one more layer to it, or a backer, so it will stand a little bit better. But let me know, nominee, which one do you guys like best? This one or this one? But we're gonna have to, I'm gonna have to add, oh, there we go. Aren't they so cute? I think they're so cute. And then this is the other sign we did. Today's keyword is cross. We layered, we put the cross, and then we put the other transfer over top of it. So we did 2 projects today, but thank you so much for joining me. These are in our Amazon, no. These are in our Etsy store, and then the transfers obviously and the chalk are in the DIY store. But thank you guys so much for joining me. I really appreciate it. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. And if you have any questions, feel free to send me a message. And thanks for hanging out with me. Bye.